And every single day,
the more enemies we kill.
We're spending trillions and trillions of dollars.
Feel free to say, all right, this is your fault.
It's not your fault.
All I know is you're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Sean's show. As you can see, I'm not in the studio. I deeply apologize for that. As you can see, I'm actually at the bottom of the ocean. As you can tell by the blue, the light blue, I'm in the ocean. I am here at the. If you're just listening, I'm set against a blue wall. It's very artistic. It's very interesting. It's 12:30 a.m. I'm in Pittsburgh, and I'm fucking tired. But you know what we do? And I'm on the road, so Josh is not with me. I am not here as always with my white producer Josh Kabaza. But I want to get an episode out. I mean, there's so much to cover, guys. There's so much to cover, and I wanted to. I mean, I have to get an episode out. I mean, I've literally been watching. I've been watching the video of this guy self-immolate all night, and not because it brings me joy. It's something so gripping and horrifying about seeing a man in uniform set himself on fire for a cause that is so righteous. It's really incredible. If you haven't seen the video, I'd recommend you go watch it, uncensored. And it's I have to start with this. I'm still sort of processing it. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, this guy, white dude who was in like the Air Force, but he was like a software engineer or some shit. He is walking down the street in DC and on where all the embassies are, and decides that he's gonna just do a really ultimate powerful. I mean, it was some Rage Against the Machine shit. It was fucking crazy, and he took it like a fucking man. I mean, he really stood. I mean, the guy set himself on fire and stood up for a whole minute, screaming "Free Palestine." Do you know how much strength and internal mental toughness it takes to do something like that? I don't care where you stand on Israel-Palestine. It's commendable. A lot of people are saying it's glorifying suicide, and it's one step away from jihad. It's one step away from celebrating jihad. Honestly, if that's how you feel about this, and I know this is like a liberal pussy leftist take to like glorify celebrate the suicide. Haven't I talked about this? Guys, I'm a fucking oracle. I predict the future. Isn't there an episode of my show where I talked about self-immolation and how it was sort of an exception to the idea of mentally ill people committing suicide? I feel like if anyone knows, let me know. Like, I feel like I talked about this, but either way, I've been saying that shit for a long time, and people look at me like, Sean, you're fucking high, you're crazy. But lo and behold, here we are, where a guy self-immolates, and everyone's talking about it. Man, I'm really congratulating myself on predicting that this would happen. But dude, it's honestly, I want to self-immolate in front of the Marvel Cinematic Universe studios. You know, seeing this guy self-immolate really made me think about my core beliefs. It really changed me. It really did. I saw this guy on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., and he had a pointed message, and he sacrificed himself so that we all could look inside ourselves to find what do we truly believe about what matters. And so I'd like to announce that I'm actually going to self-immolate in front of Marvel Studios next week on Friday. What they have done to culture is irreparable. You could call it a cultural genocide because that's what they've done. The Marvel occupying forces, the MOF, as I would call them, have ruined cinema. Marvel has, in a lot of the same ways as Israel has occupied Palestine, Marvel has occupied cinema, and it's occupied all of our minds and poisoned our minds. And I feel like if I self-immolate in front of the Marvel Studios headquarters at 10 a.m. sharp, which is when you know all those fucking lazy pieces of shit get into work, I want an employee from Marvel Studios to be strolling into work at 10:15 a.m. He just parked his car in the parking garage. He's on a Zoom call on his AirPods, going into Marvel Studios. Then he sees me dousing myself with an accelerant, like a very strong, flammable accelerant, and then I put on a director's cap, and I sit in a director's chair, and I self-immolate, and I go, free cinema now, free cinema now, and I collapse to the ground. I feel like that's what we need. We need someone to do that to bring cinema back. All right, that was me trying to make light of that, but I think we need more self-immolation in America for every cause that you believe in. Hey, you want to bitch and moan all day like me in front of a camera or to your friends about issues that probably really don't matter that much? Maybe it's time to douse yourself in gasoline and self-immolate. No, don't do that, because if you did that, then that's you stealing my idea, and that's kind of fucked up. So don't steal my idea. This is it's a crazy. It is truly unbelievable that two people have set themselves on fire in protest of the Israel-Palestine war. Two people, and it speaks to really the decline of our ability to have a voice in our democracy. Hey, for anyone that tells you that here's something you could take home. If anyone in your life tells you to fucking vote, and that you should vote blue no matter who, or that if you don't vote at all, that's a vote for Trump, or if they tell you to vote for Trump or it's the last time you'll ever vote, if anyone gives you any type of bullshit like that advances the narrative of the two-party system, you know what you should say to that motherfucker? America ceased to be a democracy when a veteran self-immolated in front of the Israeli embassy. If you still think that you have a voice when a man is self-immolating in front of the Israeli embassy, then you're smoking crack. And I'm jealous of your delusion. I'm jealous of how delusional you are. That's truly how I feel. But let me get some water here, guys. I'm on a tear. I'm on a tear tonight. It's like 12:30. I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm in hell. I like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a cool city if you like shitty chicken sandwiches and just some of the worst roads. Pittsburgh is a great city if you love mediocrity. If you just love the fake. I know if I have listeners in Pittsburgh, I love you. Please, don't turn off the show. I love you. If you're driving through Pittsburgh right now, maybe you can relate. There's a bridge in Pittsburgh. They have one of those bridges where there's 3 lanes, but like depending on the time of day, it switches which lanes are on, like going which way. So like when you're driving, it'll be like XX check mark, and you go through the one that's green that says check mark or whatever. And then it'll switch in the day, so it'll be like depending on how traffic flows. It's probably a really smart idea from a civil engineering perspective. I think it's fucking retarded, and I almost crashed my rental car. I almost crashed my Chevy Malibu 3 fucking times on these bridges. 3 times. But we're out here. We're surviving. Another day, I wake up and I think to myself, you know what? At least I'm not on fire. At least my flesh. Honestly, another thing when someone self-immolates is like, you know what? At least it kind of gives everyone else a silver lining in their lives. Like, fuck the war, whatever. Who gives, just the war, putting the war aside. At least you're not on fire listening to this. At least you could have stage 4 terminal cancer, but you know what? At least your flesh isn't burning right now. And that's good. That's good, right? Isn't that good? Maybe I want that. Maybe we all need that, honestly. But it's a sad world. It's really scary to see where our country's going. Pretty soon I'm going to be broadcasting from a fucking bunker, and I'm going to be broadcasting from Mark Zuckerberg's bunker. If that's what it comes down to, I'll pull my strings in Silicon Valley. Don't think I won't. I'll shout into the void from fucking Hawaii instead of fucking Pittsburgh. But in other news, this is something I recommend everyone read. This was fucking insane. An investigation was done by the New York Times into Instagram and apparently and Facebook, and there was this huge expose. This is a disgusting story. Just be forewarned. This story is fucking disgusting. It's just as bad as self-immolation, to be honest. A lot of fucked up shit happened. It was a bad week in the world. The world had a bad week. I had a great week. The world, not so much. That was kind of Trumpy. I had a great week. The world, not so much. Believe me. But my week was good though. I've been doing a lot of shows. But I don't do road stories, as you all know, so I won't be going into those road stories because there's enough of those on fucking comedy podcasts. But it's been fun. Anyway, this investigation, there's a New York Times did an investigation into a community on Instagram, and it's a bunch of accounts that are basically run by moms, and the accounts are just photos after photos on photos of the mom's daughters doing gymnastics and dance. And I hope you know where this is going. And then the moms post them on Instagram, and it's like a feeding frenzy for fucking pedophiles. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, guys. And these girls and their moms are getting, some of them are so sick that they even let the pedophiles pay them money for more photos of the girls dancing. I read this story. I was so shocked. I was like, where the fuck is my money? Where's my money? No, I'm kidding. It's a horrific story. It's a horrific story, guys. Some of these moms, it's like pageant moms. It's a new version of an old thing, which is pageant moms, child actor moms that try to live vicariously through their daughters because they were too fat for Hollywood or whatever in the 90s, or they didn't suck the right producer's dick, and now they're a real estate agent, and so they try to live vicariously through their daughters, and it's a sick world. And Instagram gets reports from all these moms because these pedophiles, oh my God, excuse me, just burp. I'm gonna fucking vomit just thinking about this shit. The pedophiles literally comment like smoking bod. It's really sick shit, and some of these girls are like 5, 6 years. It's fucking horrific, and some of these moms just report these comments, and Instagram does nothing. Facebook does nothing. Am I also complicit in some senses in that world because I post content to the internet on social media? You could say yes, and maybe you'd be right. But you know what? I want to sell out the Funny Bone in Omaha someday, and that's what you should tell those little children is, if Instagram destroyed their life, you can tell them, well, you can take some solace in the fact that there's this comedian out there, his name's Sean Riley. He's been working very hard, and he actually did 5 sold out shows at the Funny Bone Omaha. And this like girl's like going through therapy. She's like, my own mother abused me. My own mother abused me, and I danced and all these men, and I had to block it out, and now I can't have normal relationships with men anymore. It's destroyed my. And the therapist is like, shh, honey, it's okay. Shh, she's like crying. She's like, the therapist goes, honey, it's okay. Have you heard of Sean's show? And she's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, there's this great podcast by this comedian, Sean Riley. And although you may have had a bad experience on Instagram, it's actually been very helpful and effective in marketing other people's businesses. So maybe the next time you think about Instagram, this could be a good therapy exercise. Think about both sides. I know your mom abused you and opened up all these, an entire pedophile ring into making a commodity out of photos of you dancing as a child, and it destroyed and traumatized you. But if you thought about the micro influencers that are able to market various microbreweries to their audiences, what about them? What about them, Sarah? And he has like a little pen. The therapist has a little pen. Click, click. So anyway, next week we're going to talk about how to utilize this content in the future. Maybe leverage this into a Netflix deal. That will be $4,000. I'll see you next week, Sarah. That's a little funny improv. I don't know. I mean, it's a fucked up story. It's really sad what goes on in the world. It's really hard. To tie it together, I mean, the internet, there's truly what the internet has done to context is irrevocable, and what the internet has done to context is irrevocable. The internet has irrevocably destroyed context around media. Every time I'm scrolling any of these godforsaken fucking apps, it's YouTube, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, it's the same. There's no context to anything. It's hook, suspense, payoff, next video. Hook, suspense, payoff, next video. It's really, really, and a lot of people have said it's just addicting, and it's really, it's really, I think, fucking with people's minds in ways that we're not even really aware of yet. Like literally when I go on Twitter, it's like a photo. And this is maybe just speaks to how fucked up I am. I don't know if everyone's Twitter feeds are like this. But when I go on Twitter, it's literally like a photo of a car going 80 miles down a highway and hitting a mom and her daughter and killing them. And then I swipe, and then it's a video of a guy self-immolating. And then I swipe again, and it's like drag queens yelling at each other. Then I swipe again, and it's Joe Biden falling off his bike. Then I swipe again, and it's fucking missiles blowing up buildings in Palestine. Then I swipe again, and it's fucking RFK talking about how he's going to start his own party. And the word party is in the name. It's not a party, it's a movement. And I'm like, I haven't, speaking of movements, I haven't moved in 12 fucking hours. I really don't know what to do. We need to return to books. We need to return to long form, boring things. What happened? The internet has ruined storytelling. It's truly modern media and capitalism in a sense. I do love I love money. Don't get me wrong. I want to be rich as fuck someday, and I want a military that will defend my property. Okay? All right? Hey, Mr. Self-Immolation guy, why aren't you defending my property? No, he's a savage. He's a savage. In a good way. But the short form content and the way we consume it, and the way that venture capital firms have the ability to throw so much money at a company that they can subsidize their operations for a whole decade, like Instagram, like Facebook, like Snapchat, where they can basically buy customers for years and years and get them hooked on this bullshit, by the way, unprofitable content platform model, and then flip on the profitability switch only when a bunch of people are addicted is crazy. And it's also, along with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, ruined storytelling. Nothing fucking pisses me off more than an efficient, well-told story with a really good hook, a strong twist at the beginning to get you hooked, showing and telling at the same time. I'm showing and telling at the same time. I'm telling you a story through a character's eyes efficiently. Suck my fucking dick. I want to read a book where the first chapter is just about a fucking turtle. What happened to John Steinbeck? You can't do John Steinbeck today. I hate to be one of those fucking comics that's like, you can't do that today. You couldn't make that today. But you know what you really couldn't make today? John Steinbeck's books. He spends a whole chapter talking about a turtle crossing a road. And yes, is it symbolic? And yes, is it actually a meaningful, important chapter? I don't give a fuck. If you read it, it's a book about a fucking turtle or another animal, a tortoise crossing a desert road, and it doesn't do anything to advance the plot, and I love that. It's like Naruto, for my Naruto heads out there. Sometimes Naruto, the writers wouldn't have enough time to pump out an episode that drives the plot, so they have these filler episodes just to kind of fill out the universe of Naruto. Those are some of my favorite ones, because Naruto would just go do what he wants, you know? Sure, Lord Ozai, that's fucking Avatar, or whatever. I mix them all up because I'm xenophobic against Asians. Joking. But I mix them all up. But sure, Naruto and Sasuke are going to have a fight someday for the fate of the fucking Hokage clan, whatever. But right now, Naruto has to eat ramen and try to go fuck Sakura. That's what's important. And that has been that is what weaves humans together and creates social cohesion. Stories with fat. Stories that are imperfect. And now we have stories, even if that's why people love podcasts so much, is it's a way to just relax and enjoy things without this efficiency. Efficient storytelling is the product of late stage capitalism. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but it's fucking true. And I don't mean anything I just said. I actually want more efficient stories. I want stories so short that they're not even stories. You know, it'd be nice if a lot of women in my life would take out this advice. I don't even want stories. I want, person, place, thing, beginning, middle, end, done. That's what I want. I don't want to hear stories anymore. Fuck. It's late, but you know what? We're having fun. I mean, those were the two main stories. Oh, I gotta answer your questions. Forgive me, I'm recording on my phone, but I'm also going to answer your question, guys. If you guys don't already, or not already a part of it, please do join the Sean's Show Facebook group, where you can ask me questions, and I'll answer them. And I will answer them. And let's do it. We got 2 questions this week. And by the way, if you ask a question and you Venmo request me, I'll pay you $5 because that's how desperate I am to get people on the show or listening to the show. But again, guys, facebook.com/groups/Sean's Show. If you really want to connect with me, that's the place to do it. So, first question is from William. As always, thank you so much, William. I love you, bro. Thanks for asking questions. As always, I love you. You're like my number one fan right now, and Kareem, you're also my number one fan. William is white, so that makes him my number 2 fan. I'm sorry, William. No, I'm joking. You guys are. I love you equally, no matter what your race is. But you're both male, and that's what really matters. My boy. This is a show for boys. And women too. William asks, fuck one, marry one, kill one. Tony, Josh, my girlfriend. Okay. This is actually, William, I mean, so if you're not like, if this is like the first time you're listening to the show, I used to do a show with my buddy Tony. We're still good buddies. It's all good. Before I moved on to just do my solo show. Josh is my current podcast producer who's not here right now because I'm on the road. And my girlfriend is anonymous, and you will never know what she looks like or what her name is because I am scared of the internet. And and to be honest, a lot of my fans are autistic, and you know, I don't want to see anyone self-immolate in front of my girlfriend's house or my house. We both live in Hawaii and we own a lot of guns. So, you know, that's just letting you guys know. Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Tony, Josh, my girlfriend. Marry my girlfriend, obviously. Ooh, that's tough because that means I have to fuck a guy. Fuck, this is tough, William. I mean, I gotta marry my girlfriend. There's no way I'm marrying Tony or Josh. Because Josh has a wife, so he'd be cheating. I'd destroy his family, and I wouldn't marry Tony because we couldn't even do a podcast together. You'd think we'd have a fucking marriage. Our marriage would not last very long. But so I marry my girlfriend. Fuck one. I guess I'd fuck Tony. I gotta kill one? Dude, fuck, marry, kill is a brutal game. I love all those people. Okay, I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to marry my girlfriend, and I'm going to kill Tony and Josh, William. Because they're competition. And that's what you got to do in business sometimes. How about this? I'm going to marry my girlfriend, then I'm going to fuck Tony and Josh at the same time, then kill both of them. That's what I'm going to do. I hope I'm not screaming too loud in this fucking... By the way, I'm in a really cool kind of like co-op thing right now, which... gives space for creators to do shit like this. So Pittsburgh has a lot of dope shit going on, guys. Kareem asks, film a 9/11 with boxed milk and a toy plane. Let the government know you're not afraid. Snort emoji, snort emoji, snort emoji, 100 emoji, 100 emoji. Well, Kareem, that wasn't really a question, but okay. I'll get my people right on that. How about I film a 9/11 with like boxed almond milk and a toy and some paper straws? That's the statement I want to make. You know, that's almost as important of a statement as a guy self-immolating is, you know, filming vegan 9/11. Anyway, guys, that was this week's questions. We got less this week. That's kind of sad. If you're listening, you know, I know this. I'm on the road. I'm sorry this one's lower budget, but you know, I'm a comic and I'm trying to do a podcast, so bear with me, guys. I know not all the episodes are going to be, you know, fancy as fuck, but please join the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Sean Show. We're up to 13 members. I mean, we're basically a fucking cult, and we have a handful of people in. Sean's disciples, but we have some slots left. So let me know. Okay. Here's a story. Here's a story that got totally buried, because of all the other bigger stories that came out this week. So another, and this is so funny how less of a story it was. Guys, another Chinese balloon, flew over the U.S. and no one gave a fuck. You know, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's the best you got, China." Like, that's just, you know, that's some old shit. That's some 2023 shit. Chinese spy balloon, get with the fucking program, man. 2024. It's about self-immolation. That's what we're doing here. No, dude, there was a balloon. So another balloon of unknown origins, but we all know it's China. And that's fine. Flew over the U.S. and the Pentagon intercepted it. They scrambled some jets and intercepted the balloon. But fortunately in this case, it wasn't as big of a fiasco because The jets actually found out that there was no oil in the balloon, and so they deemed it that it was not a threat. So thankfully, that was the case. No, I think if the fighter jets had found oil, it would have been a totally different scenario. I mean, if they had found oil in that weather balloon that was flying over the U.S., not only would they have shot that balloon down, I think we would have gone to where the weather balloons are manufactured and carpet bombed the fuck out of those balloons, even though they weren't even in our airspace, because that's how we do it. That's how America do it, son. That's how we do it. But it's interesting what gets covered now. You know, there's so much noise. There's so I just feel like there's no context, and that's why I recommend read a book, read a fucking book. Hey, here, you know, if this is just for everyone's mental health. I love my fans, and I'm looking out for you guys, okay? I have a vested interest in the people that listen to this show because I think you guys resonate with a lot of my views, and I think you get it. And here's my message to my listeners. Fuck the rest of the world. Here's the message for my listeners. Maybe don't watch a guy self-immolate. Maybe read a book. Instead of watching a video of a military man, douse himself in gas and set himself on fire in front of an embassy, maybe go read a John Steinbeck novel. That's okay. It's in 2024, you are allowed to read fictional novels. That's still okay. You know, and I don't know who needs to hear that, but I think it needs to be said that you can still enjoy your life. You know, you can still enjoy the day-to-day. Not everything has to be doom and gloom, even though that's what I love to talk about on the show. I do love doom and gloom. Guys, China is going to win. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about this. I feel like China's going to win. Have you been to a small town? And if, by the way, if you're in a small town and you're listening to this, I'm going to make fun of small towns right now. So either tighten up your asshole, or you can hit that little X, as I always say, or close that little app and get the fuck off my show. I don't want you, you pussies. But small towns suck. They really, really do. I was in a small town recently, whose name I shall not name because... it was McKinney, Texas. I had a great show, headline McKinney, Texas, in Dallas, suburb in Dallas. It's a small town, and I'm not saying it was bad. It was horrible. It was a shithole. I mean, walking through a small town literally feels like I'm in like level 1 of like a video game, and like I'm walking around, and there's only like 12 people online, and half of them have been on level 1 for like 2 years. And the other half have like just gotten there, and everyone's still trying to figure out the controls. No one's unlocked anything yet. People are just bumping into the fucking wall, walking in the middle of the street. There's no order. People think there's lawfulness, law and order in small towns. There's not. People think New York and the Tenderloin in San Francisco and Berkeley and Oregon and Portland are the lawless places. Go to a small town in the Rust Belt, and you will find lawlessness. It's a different type of lawlessness. It's not angry lawlessness and drug-induced lawlessness like it is in the Tenderloin. It's a sort of apathetic, aimless culture where you sort of are left behind in society. It just feels like you're going to the past. I mean, I walked into McKinney, and I literally expected to see a fucking colored bathroom sign. I really did. That's how far, and it was pleasant. It was quaint. It's great if you're a white woman and you want to go there and spend 3 days there and, you know, and get some coffee and, you know, turn a blind eye when your husband cheats on you in McKinney. That's fun. But like for a young person, like if you're young and there's nothing to do out there. It really feels like you're in level 1 of a video game and you can't get to level 2. And like you have like 9 out of 10 keys You know what I'm talking about on these games, and you can't find that last key, or you have to do this one last thing to get to the next level, but the video game like is it's just you can't fucking figure it out, and you can't do it. That's what this McKinney, Texas feels like. And the last thing that people need to do to get to the next level in real life is just quit meth and quit heroin, but they just can't do it. They just can't. But that's what the charm of that place is. The charm of a small town is the fact that people can't escape, or they don't want to escape. Xenophobia, the number one thing about a small town that's charming is the xenophobia. When they look at you weird, like you're out from somewhere else and you shouldn't be there, partner, that is the charm, you know? And if you can't see that, then it's time to get cultured. If you don't like just a little bit of unwelcome vibes when you go to a new small town, then, you know, maybe travel's not for you. Yeah, dude. But I've been having a pretty good week. I was in DC, actually. I was doing some shows, 3 sold out theater shows. I'm just gonna turn into a douchebag comic. 3 sold out theater shows opening for my boy. It was super dope. Anyway, I'm getting a new brand of I'm actually launching a whiskey brand. It's called Douchebag Whiskey. I actually am launching a whiskey. It's called Douchebag Whiskey, and it's going to be $99 a bottle. And it's $200 if you're not white because of cancel culture. So what you have to do to get the whiskey is just Venmo me $100 in Bitcoin. I only take Bitcoin or Solana. Because if you're still using US dollars, what are you doing with your life? And like, yeah, basically just send me like your social security number and just scan a copy of your driver's license back and forth. Black and white is fine, but all I need to see both sides. You know, based on your race, I'll give you a different price because it's douchebag whiskey. You know, what's up? I mean, just because of all these fucking people trying to cancel us, we're just out here doing our thing. You know, all these people trying to cancel us, I'm just trying to keep it real out there. You know, people are like, oh, Sean, like, you're a fucking racist. Oh, Sean, you're a fucking piece of shit. You're a douchebag. Now I own that. Yeah, I am a douchebag, you know, but I'm honest and I'm fair. People go, Sean, you know, and the irony is everyone who's shitting on me, they're the real racists. You know, they go, Sean, you're a racist because you're charging different prices for your whiskey based on people's race. That's correct. No, that's a riff, but no, there's no whiskey. I'm actually sober. I've actually been sober since December. So you won't have any products hawked by me to you, shoved down your throat until I really need the money. Until I need this. Guys, when I paint this blue wall another color, if you're just listening, there's a blue wall. Remember the blue wall? When I need to paint this blue wall pink, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. And if you don't donate any money, I mean, I'm pretty much, you're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. But until then, relax. You can enjoy. There's no ads. There's no nothing. Again, guys, people, you know, there's been a lot of people selling out. I see a lot of criticism on and I won't fixate on this for long because I know it's kind of inside baseball and no one wants to hear about this bullshit. But I'll tell you something. A lot of comics, they sell out. Their podcasts, they get a little bit of success, a little bit of momentum. Instantly, they get a brand deal with DraftKings. They get a brand deal with Liquid Death. I'm telling you something, guys. I don't need that money. So that's exactly why I'll be doing it sooner than all those other guys did it. I already have a brand deal with those 2 companies. You don't even know it. Idiots. All right. Hope you're having a good work shift or commute or whatever the fuck you listen to this goddamn show. That's the main news, though. I think there's one more story I want to cover here. Bear with me, guys. I don't have a producer, so I have to sort of vamp as I check for the other stories I wanted to cover here. So it's, what do we want to close on? I mean, we could do NVIDIA. NVIDIA's a fucking massive company now. Let's see. Oh, China winning. I guess I kind of. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was trying to bring it all back to China. So Oh, no. I know what we're going to close on. Okay. So, guys, we all know Gemini. Gemini is Google's new AI. And if you're into tech at all, you've been following this story. Gemini is Google's answer to Chat GPT. And somehow, Gemini is more PC and more censored than Chat GPT. I mean, it's like they're doing a competition to see who can be more woke. And I hate to use the word woke to phrase it, but that's exactly what it is. I've seen images of people trying to use Gemini, and it's hilarious. Like, they go up and they're like, generate 5 photos of European kings from the 14th century, and it gives you like 5 pictures of like black dudes, which is just not historic to be like inclusive. Like, you'll tell Google's Gemini, which is Google's new AI program, and you'll go like, generate me 5 images of authoritarian European kings in the medieval times, and it'll send you back a portrait of the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm not even kidding you. It can't, because that's what they're more focused on, being inclusive than factual, and that is the core issue with AI. Is it's being generated. That was funny as fuck. That Wu-Tang thing was pretty funny. Anyway, God, I'm fucking insane. That's why that's why these AI platforms are failing, is because they've been designed by people that went to somehow it feels like they all went to liberal arts colleges. Maybe they did. I think it's a lot of people that got MBAs and they got computer science degrees from Berkeley, these very progressive universities. And there's all of this mechanics and infrastructure behind the scenes when you use AI that makes it that they've created these bumpers, these barriers around what you're allowed to create and how you're allowed to interface with AI, and it makes it unusable. It makes it unusable. If I can't generate a photo of Sonic the Hedgehog getting his back blown out by Goofy from the Disney Channel, from Disney, if I can't generate a photo of Sonic's asshole getting pounded by the dog Goofy on ChatGPT, what's the fucking point? Why did NVIDIA make all these GPUs if I can't even jack off to a photo of Sonic the Hedgehog fucking Sonic the Hedgehog? What's the point? What's the point? To send emails better? Fuck that. I want to kill myself. I should ask ChatGPT if self-immolation is a cool form of protest. That's what I should do. You know what we really need? We need Sam Altman to self-immolate in front of OpenAI's headquarters. That's what the world needs, okay? And when he's on fire, he's not even going to talk about AI and all the dangers of AI. He should just say something ridiculous and absurd that just fucks with people. I want Sam Altman to do that. That's what will unify him. Chaos destroys and it disrupts society, but chaos can also bring people together. And we can rally and unite around our collective confusion for Sam Altman's craziness. Sam Altman, if you don't know, is the chairman of OpenAI. He was ousted. I think he's doing a new thing now. But you know what we really need in America, guys? What we need Sam Altman to go outside of the OpenAI headquarters, and I want him to have that same metal canister of gasoline, and I want Sam Altman to pour it on himself, set himself on fire, and then I want him to scream something absurd like, "But BBLs really aren't that hot, and I like a good vanilla normal ass." Like something about BBLs. Like, I want to say I want to self-immolate and then be like, my wife got a BBL and I'm not okay with it and I'm really rich, but it doesn't change the fact that my wife has a BBL. And then he like bursts into flames. That confusion and discord is what we need to unite us. Something like that. I call upon my listeners to self-immolate, figuratively speaking. Don't do it for real. No, I'm joking. That's a fucking joke, guys. Please, God. Please actually don't, because if that comes back to me, you'll basically ruin my show. And I care more about my show than you self-immolate. Your flesh. Your burning flesh. Is this a good comedy podcast? I really have no idea. I feel like I'm shouting. My listeners are going up. That's good. But sometimes I feel like the stuff I say is just, it's not received well. And that worries me. That makes me worried about the future. I gotta stop have so much self-doubt. I haven't seen a therapist, but I know that I self-doubt too much. And if you do that too, let's be better, guys. Let's make 2024 a year where we stop self-doubting. By the way, I'm drinking gasoline right now. But if you're just listening, I have a water bottle full of liquid. It's actually gasoline, and this is sort of a long-form self-immolation. So this is going to be a fun surprise at the end of this episode, guys. My name is Sean Riley, and I will no longer be complicit in Marvel Studios' cultural genocide. Free cinema. Oh, I actually poured a little bit of water. That was a bad idea. Oh, fuck. Ouch. Shouldn't have done that. Oops. All right, guys. Sorry. We're fine. Just a little fun. Okay. It's 1:30 a.m. I'm actually going fucking crazy. I just gotta clean this shit up. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, we're fine, guys. Well, honestly, if I'm dousing myself in water, that's probably a good place to end it. I know this is a short episode, guys, but I'm fucking exhausted. I love you so much. And, thank you. I know these episodes when I'm on the road are not as good, but I hope you had fun. Please stay safe out there. The world's getting more dangerous, which is to my benefit as a commentator on it. But so it's good for me, bad for you. But stay safe out there, guys. If you're still listening, then you're probably a diehard fan, which I think is retarded, and I would not if I were you. But if you are, join Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Sean Show, where we hang out and we can you can throw me questions that I'll answer on the show. I like that. That's been a kind of a fun thing I've added to the show. I want to keep building and adding stuff, guys. I have a lot of really grand visions for what I want the show to be. I have a pretty good network of comedians that I want to eventually interview. Like lots of cool shit. I don't want to tease you too much, but I have some really exciting stuff I want to do with the show, assuming I live that long. But if there's one thing you guys do, please just follow the show on Spotify. I see a few people did that, and I really appreciate it. I think we're up to 29 now. 29 Spotify followers. Again, if we get to 100 before we run episode 50, I won't kill myself. So that's kind of a little bit of motivation for you guys to follow the show. But I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm glad I'm getting this one out. And again, I'm sorry it's a little bit short. But we're back in studio next week. We're growing this shit. Episode 30, baby. It's just the beginning. One day I'll be on episode 300, and I'll also be 300 pounds. And at that time, I'll be very excited to find out that future me has 22 followers on Spotify. So I can have that to look forward to. But I love you guys. Stay safe. Free cinema. Read a book. Do some fentanyl. And jack off. Bye.